my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Oh, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on tuning in, hear all to say. Watch real closely, enjoy, stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can. Enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
And we're live, and it's Shoshie from. I have cat hair in my mouth in the morning, and we're live. Good morning, it's Shoshie from Shoshie's Magnificent Minis. I think it's from this hat because the hat is black and it attracts cat hair. Good morning, Cat Leanne. Happy 4th. Oh, this is my favorite holiday, by the way. Eeny minis. I want to say eeny minis. And Christopher 2. I want to point out, subscribe this morning. Right here, we're going to write that down. Christopher 2, thank you so much for your subscription right off the bat. Lovely, lovely. Let's see. Wait, Christopher. Making this right. There we go. 2. Thank you so much for your subscription, which we're going to be having a massive party. Can you guys see right here in the corner? This number. We only need 20 more followers till we get to the 3,000 mark, which is our party and our giveaways. Yes. Good morning, Cyber Nomad. Darrigan Devil. That's a great name. Darrigan Devil 111. Massive fan of my work. I've been staring in awe on Instagram. First time you managed to catch a stream. I'm so excited. That's part of the reason why I wanted to have slightly different time. Well, probably I want to watch fireworks tonight. But also, I want to be able to, there we go, there's my face. I want to be able to, you know, expose this channel to, and this Twitch stream to different people and have, you know, play on the holidays, play on days, on times I don't normally. So, awesome. I'm glad you guys can make it. We're going to be painting the Kingdom Death. Let me show you. Kingdom Death. This is what we did the last time. I picked out his face a little bit, so I did go ahead a little bit. I did work on the back of him a little bit more, cleaned up all of the legs, because I have this thought in my head that maybe working on the back of a mini is going to be boring to look at. So I thought, well, I'll save the front for you guys. Yay, Europe time. That's right. Yeah, it is like 3 in the afternoon Europe time, I think. Is that right? So it's 9 a.m. I have my caffeine. I don't have any coffee because that gives me too much anxiety, but I have caffeine. So we're gonna work on this this awesome guy. He is so creepy. We read last time that the Kingdom Death Aries Knight, basically the wounds of his battles, he gets in fights all the time, basically become the armor that you know, it tightens around him as he gets more and more scars. So this is the base, the scabs of his wounds become his armor. Yeah, he's crazy looking, isn't he? So I'm just really excited. I want to get painting right away. Let's get a brush. I'm just gonna use my Winsor Newton today. I don't use these too often. Got a Winsor Newton number 1. I know it's reliable. I know I'll be able to paint what I want and with ease. Okay, so let's talk about our color scheme. We went last time in part 1, we looked at a color scheme, which I just Googled Aries color scheme. And this is sort of what we found. We found these 2 greens. I'm using scale 75 for the most part. For fantasy and games and scale color field gray, undead flesh. And then we had a little bit of merm green mixed in with the undead flesh because it's like actually a brighter kind of green. Blood red. This has me pumped for my face seminar. Awesome. Face seminar. That's right. I am doing faces. Arbuckle's brown. And Eldandle violet. I forgot about the Dandle violet. And then I was also using kind of as a bridge color the corporeal shadow, because red and green are opposites on the color wheel. And what the bridge color is a blue, right? Because blue goes in between red and green. You can get sort of a purpley color with the red, but you need bridge colors. There's purple. Boom. There's our whole half of the color wheel pretty much. And then for highlights, we had used these colors. Oh my gosh, I was looking for this all over the place today. I'm going to show you guys some more metals too. Light skin, pale skin, and high key yellow, because we did quite a bit of glazing with him. So one of the things we did, the first thing, let me show you on this, a shoulder. All we did to start out was we glazed some Arbuckle's brown in a thin amount, like just thinned it out and put it over the primer that's already existing, so you can see the highlights and the shadows fairly well. It's better on this one, I think. Yeah, that's much better. You can see. So that's what we did. We had the pre-shading with the primers, and then we did a thin glaze, and then we'll show you the rest today. Okay, let's do the horns and the face and the back of the head, and then I'm gonna leave this all here because I don't know how much we'll be able to see, because he's got these side Yeah, I painted some of that too. You can see the paint. So he has some of these side cloths. So I don't want to get too detailed in here if you're not even going to be able to see it. I'm one of these painters who, like, just because it's there, I don't paint every single thing, especially if I can't see it. All right, so now let's look here. So I've got, as you can see, I've got a start of my highlights. That's what I did, and I'm going to be glazing back over that with the blood red to give us some brighter red there. So I've got that on my palette. This is the light pale skin. I'm going to put a little bit of light skin, a little bit of the yellow. This is the high key yellow on my palette as well. So what are you guys doing for the 4th? As soon as I get done streaming, I'm going to go watch the parade. And then we're going to go to cookout at my sister-in-law's and watch fireworks. Oh, I cannot tell you how much I love the 4th of July. And I'm not like super crazy patriotic. I'm not one of these like America. But 4th of July is a holiday that's near and dear to my heart because it only lasts one day. One day. Only on the 4th. You can't have 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It doesn't last for a whole season. You don't have to buy anything for anybody. You know? It's romantic. You got fireworks. You got picnics. You get parades. Oh, cool. Moderns Man 8. Thank you so much for the host. How are you? All right. Let me show you. Here's my light skin. And I'm deciding that my light is coming from about 2 o'clock because that's where we decided most of my light's coming from. And based on that, I'm going to be highlighting edges. Because even though this is a red, it's not actually metal because it's, you know, his crusty scabs for his armor. Aw, thank you so much for the follow, Moderns Man. We have a new follower. So now, this counter right here that I'm pointing out hasn't updated yet, but once we get to 3,000, we will have our party. Let's see, followers. I always put people's names here. Moderns. Moderns Man 8. Awesome. Cybernona says, just help prep food for the barbecue. Yummy. Oh, I can't. That's the other thing. I love barbecue. Hello from Spain. Jose Lu. Let's see. And then Eenie Meenie says, or Eenie Minis, 2-hour drive to visit hubby's family for a cookout. Kerrigan Devil says, I'm at my parents in the UK. I normally have food with American friends in Ireland. Nice. So you're missing out on the yummy food. Aw. Happy 4th of July from Canada, says Dan Chaput. Thank you so much. Yes, we were just discussing how it's my favorite holiday because of all of the awesome things that we do during the holiday to celebrate. I'm not a big drinker. I know a lot of people, you know, drink on the holidays, but I eat the foods. I visit with the family. Really love fireworks. Okay. Do a little close up so you can see this better. I have to take glasses off so I can see too. Now mine has a little ball on the end of his chin because I had to throw some Bondic on there because he had a hole. He had a bubble on his end of his chin. Okay. So that is that. So I don't have a lot of highlights over here. Maybe just a tiny bit. Do a little bit over here. Ah, too much. That's what happens. And now I'm gonna go in with my red. I've got my blood red, which I need to shake up. I think we might have a proto maker coming down the stairs to visit us. Yes, it is. It is a proto maker. Hello, Mike. Are you gonna come be on cam? Come here. Here, let me do the overhand. There it is. Say hi. This is
Hey,
Mike.
buddy. Good morning.
Oh.
Get away from me. Oh.
You have breakfast breath. He's giving me the face. Good morning. All right, back to painting. Getting busy. Okay. Greetings, Zenred. How are you, Moderns man? Is this your first time catching the stream? Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so I need to thin out this blood red. Red is a strong color. Thankfully, it's a little bit transparent already, so. I go back over all of these highlights because we've got this lighter canvas. Gonna make that red nice and bright. That's the trick to reds. People think red's difficult. It's not. You just need to make sure that when you're layering, you have kind of highlight up and then glaze it back down with a bright red, right? You can also use inks, but I'm not doing that for this guy. I'm like, I want his face to look really Skeletor-y looking, right? There, now he looks pretty creepy. We lost all of our contrast though, didn't we? So, happy 4th of July. I'll say your name right one of these days. Eeny Minis. This is my, oh good, thank you so much. Darrigan says, your colors look amazing. Never seen anyone else use those Scale 75 paints. Do you have the whole, yeah, I have both the Fantasy and Game and the Scale color sets. Scale 75 is one of my sponsors. Let's see, do we have, let me see if I can, we have a coupon code. So if you want to try some out, let me see if I can do this. Did it work? Yes. You can use the coupon Shoshie Rocks, and I recommend that you try one of the sets. I think there's sets of 7 and 8, and the Unnatural Flesh set is really awesome, and it's actually really good for painting regular flesh. And then the leather set, and any of the metallics are amazing. Like the gold is really nice. Okay, so now I've got now instead I have here light skin. It's got a little bit more orange in it, so it's going to show up a little differently as a highlight. And now again, I go back over my edges because we've got our little reds, and I feel like we lost some of our contrast, so I might have to go back in with my Corporeal Shadow and pull that back out. I'm just kind of touching spots here. Trying to hope that this brush is gonna pick up some of the details that I want without overpainting it. I like the Winsor Newton because I have a good amount of control with it. Yeah, I can paint it pretty nicely this way. Oof, might be too much. Okay, now get more on this side because I really want this side more highlighted. Creepy. This is where I need that, maybe my Arbuckle's brown with a little bit of my blood red mixed together to get back my shadows. Actually, just Arbuckle's brown to get back my shadows. This was the color that we originally used. Ooh, yeah. We originally used to glaze. And it goes up on that highlight a little bit. It's good. If you guys want to get my attention, don't forget to say at Shoshie's Minis, and that way I can see much easier. You know, so that makes a big difference. I feel like I lost. Woohoo! Oh. Eeny Minis, thank you so much. And I got your name right. $4. Wow, thank you so much. Oh, $4. Yay. It says my American Appreciation way of thanks for streaming today. Aw. Yay. That's awesome. Here's little hearts for you. Let's give her some hype. Eeny Minis. Let's see. Make sure I spell it right. Did it work? No, I didn't spell hype right. There we go. Now I spelled it right. Hi, Art Evolve, you made it. We did miss you. I'm glad that everybody has been able to make it, because I don't stream at this time normally. And so I was scared that, you know, people are going to be asleep. I would probably be asleep if I were you guys. But it is technically almost like 10 o'clock on East Coast time, so I would be up by then. Now I'm going to take some of this color back here. I'm going to stick it in the crevice because it looks like I just have primer back here, and I want to get the shadow of all these horns established before, because we're going to paint the horns today. We're going to get all that color in there. Go. Ooh, he's creepy, isn't he? Put it in there. I might actually go back in with a little black. Corporeal shadow. It's a Reaper color. It's like a dark, dusty, dirty blue. Gotta share the love. We need more of it. Absolutely, we do. Okay, so I want to show you something. This is Corporeal Shadow, and it's a dark, dark blue. And then if you take the Arbuckle's Brown, which is a dark burgundy, there it is, that's the swatch. Watch what happens when I mix them together. It's just a really dark color. It's like a dark purpley. Let's see how it gets even more dark. It gets much more darker. Much more darker? My grammar. Wait. So, I use that all the time instead of black. In a watercolor terms, you would call that like a Payne's gray, possibly. Rackinid, good morning. We do not have a mic with us today. Well, he's upstairs. I think I scared him off too. All right, now I can put this in here. I want that real dark. In fact, I'm going to put more corporeal shadow back in here as well. There we go. All right, there. And I'm just painting in my shadows again that I might have overpainted already. All right, that's good enough for now. And we're gonna I take that back. So see how there's these bright brights? That's what's making our contrast. So we're gonna put some on places that would have the most light. Top of the brow, top of the cheekbones. Just under the eye, he's got like a little, he should have a little bit of a ding here. There we go. Ah, that's cool. He has some lips. It's hard to see though. Looks kind of, I'm not sure if I dig that. Well, now, the horns. I did some looking, I did some Googling for ram horns. Holiday in the USA today. Yay! Happy Independence Day. It's a good holiday, that's for sure. All right, so ram's horns. I'm going to show you guys. I found a reference that I love. These are actually cosplay horns from a place called Lightning Cosplay. I guess it's in the UK. No, it's in Europe because it has Euro. I'm going to paste this into the chat so you guys can take a peek at this. This is my reference that I'm going to use. So you can take a peek. So it's Lightning Cosplay, big ram horns. And you can see the beautiful color. It's really golden, but I'm going to have to tone that down a little bit because we already have our you know, our color scheme picked out. And I like to keep with a muted, you know, a limited palette. So I think I'm going to base coat some of this. Let's see. Probably shouldn't look at those too much, but I mostly wanted to see where the browns are. Okay, let's go back. Good morning, Johnny Utah. How are you this lovely 4th of July? Okay, I have to take glasses off. I'm going to use the this is the light skin that I had before on the armor. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paint around these little, there's like 3 little holes right here. And all the places where I have white already established. I'm going to paint this light skin. So I've got my highlights in there. Am I too much off center? There we go. I like that. Okay. Flip it around because he's got some more back here. Now I'm going to wet blend in more. Aw. Game Monster 117. I've got a new follower. We could very well hit our follower goal today, guys. That would be so exciting. And that means then the next stream, which would be Friday, would be our giveaway stream. Game Monsters 117. Woo, thank you so much, Game Monster. Welcome. Yes, today is the holiday. So Artie Wolf says they are yellow goldish if you look at the ones that have been out in the sun. So yeah, so I'm starting out with this color, but we're gonna glaze it back with some like Reikland Flesh Shade or probably Agrax Earth Shade, maybe. We're gonna glaze it. But I wanna have this base color in here first. And I'm using the primer as well. That's why I'm leaving some of that there, because I want that dark tone. Okay. It's helping me see where my lights are. You see how I'm going over this with my brush, so that way these little striations stay. It's like important for goats horns. All right, so now we need another color. I don't really want to introduce another color. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys, we're going to do some color theory here. Had to mute while I coughed. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you know, green and red are opposite on the color wheel. So we're going to take a little bit of our we already have green in our palette as far as our color scheme. See, we have it in the pants. I did have a new follower. Oh, I got him. Yep. Thank you, Artie Volve. I appreciate it, because if I miss, I don't want to miss anybody. All right, so we've got green and green, and we've got red and red. We've got those two and those two. And then we have blue and yellow as well. So we have all of our quote-unquote primary colors. That means we can mix any color we need. What I need is some kind of brown. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I have the right colors. I've got my green here. I'm going to take a little bit of red. Okay, so there we go. There's a brown. It's a little... I think I need just a tiny bit of yellow in there. Nope, that made it too... A little bit of thin skin. Okay, so there we see... It looks more brown on camera, but it's actually more of a mauve. So that means we need a little bit more green. It's starting to... Might not have the right brown. Let's try a little blue. We're just going to mix until we get the right color. That was my hope. I was hoping to get a brown. Let's try Arbuckle's brown and the green here. Maybe that will give us our color. It's got a lot of blue in it, though. I think that's a really dark, dark color. I might just go with that. That is a reddish, purpley green. Greenish red. This is interesting. Lixter, thank you so much for the host. Good morning. You filthy Englander. I gotta say that just because it's Independence Day. I'm like showing my independence from from the UK. All right, there. That's about... I don't think I'm gonna get it. So since I'm not getting the brown that I want, I think I need to introduce another color, which I didn't want to do. I'm going to try a little bit of this peanut butter. A little bit. This has more golden yellow to it. It's got a little bit more orange. I think it'll give us the warmth that I need. This is a cold red and a cold green. So we needed the warm. Yes. Yeah, we've got brown. Can you guys see this? Let's swatch it. There we go. Nice brown. It needed that warmth. All right, I'm gonna set that aside. So now we have peanut butter in our palette. Artie Wolf says, if you bring a mini to Nova, can I help you with true metallics? I want them to be more realistic looking than like I did with the shield. Oh yeah, we're gonna show people the shield. This is the shield that we did. Definitely looks like a true metallic, doesn't it? You can try. I cannot guarantee that I will have time to show you, but I will try. That's all I can promise since it's not part of a class that I'm doing. Hey! All right, now I'm just brushing back over the entire horn now. I've got my lights already established, so when I paint over the entire thing now, I'm not gonna lose my lights. Over the entire horn now. It's like it's a transparent. It's not quite a glaze because I'd say it's a little too thick to be a glaze. Maybe it's a glaze. Get this part in the back. Get all the entire horn now. Look at how awesome. That was what we needed. We needed that peanut butter. Beautiful. And what I'm also noticing is this brown looks really nice here with this bronze that we've got established already as well. So it won't actually clash like I was worried it would. I could try a private class. Yeah, like I said, if we could try that. I think Nova would get pretty upset if I tried a private class without their okay. So yeah, but what you could do is subscribe at the tier 3 level. You get a free coaching. Maybe that's what Flickster was talking about. A free coaching with me. And then I can show you everything you need. It'll be free half-hour coaching with me. Definitely show you that. So all my subscribers at the tier 3 level get monthly coachings if they wish. All they have to do is message me and set up a time. All right. Yay. Pretty nice. Did I get everything? I did not paint everything. A little black. See how that black mixes a little bit with the transparent and it makes it a darker version. Now we go with the peanut butter by itself. Might need to let that dry some. Let that dry. Alright, letting that dry. Let's figure out what color should I paint this little loincloth thing? Should I just go with reds? Should I go with more bronze? Go with more green? I need help. We could go with more of this peanut butterish color. Yes, you could paint it and then I could show you what's missing. That is also what you could do. Yes. Triangle. This is 2 horns and 1 loincloth. So do you think I should make the loincloth the same color as brown? Okay. That could work. That should be, yeah, sometimes I don't know where else I'm going to put. No, you're right. I should make that brown. The blue-green I have in his pants. Okay, so we've got 1 vote for the blue-green in his pants and 1 vote for the brown that's on his horns, which we could also make bronze. We could also make it bronze, like the other pieces that we've got on here. Could also make it red, although I think that these are like little strips of cloth or leather or something. Darker green. A good idea too. We're getting so many good ideas. Oh my goodness. All right. So when I paint things, I try to paint things in 3s. So right now we have bronze on his shield and on his little decorations. So it would make sense to do bronze. Plus the bronze would also mimic this brown. But if we did green, it would definitely bring, I think, more attention to that whole crotch area. Darker green would take away from, darker green would not show up. I don't think it would show up. Hey Meg Paints Minis, you're new to the channel so you missed a lot. Did I freehand the breastplate? Freehand it? It's so, look at it, it's all sculpted in there. And all we did was highlight it and everything. So yes, I did freehand it. Yep. I'm not really sure. Because it's all sculpted. So all we did was really highlight it and paint it like per normal. Now we're trying to figure out what to make this part right here. Let's just, well, you know what? We can paint over it if we don't like it. How's that? Let's see what the brown looks like. And if we don't like it, we can make it something else. Kind of like that, actually. Need to mix my new color. I don't know. I kind of want to make it bronze now because it's kind of flat. It's kind of blah. Let's make it bronze because I'm liking the color and I think it will look better. I think it'll look better bronze. Yes, thank you so much. We are going to be painting him throughout the stream. And so you'll get to see, like, we'll do some more on the arms and you'll kind of see exactly how we did it. We'll go over some of the same techniques on the shoulders. All right, bronze, bronze, bronze. Let me show you guys. So actually, hold on for a second. I want to show you. When I base, I'm going to base this with Tinny Tin. You get to see my metallic metals art evolve. The trick is having the flat paints as well. So Tinny Tin is my base. Here we go, back to the metallics, and it looks like I need to get back in here. Make sure to get the back half. Under there. Let that dry. We can go back to the horns now. I'm going to take just a little bit of my light skin, mix it with that brown color that we already had on the palette. Glasses off. And I'm going to paint in my striations. See? There's these little holes I'm trying to highlight around. No. Boom. There. Want to pick out those highlights again. Now we can get even lighter with the light skin. Notice how small my highlights are. That makes a difference. It seems brighter. Now I can blend it in a little bit with my brush. I want those highlights a little bitty. And nothing's blended real well, so I need to go back in with the glaze of that original color. Probably thin it some more with some water. I can smooth out all of my little brush marks. Let me see how that looks. Oh yeah, that looks good on camera. Camera smooths out all my brush marks so you can't see them. Meg says, oh, yeah. All right. Now. The reason why I mixed a little bit of my highlight color with the horn color is so that I can get a transition here. Only on the apex next to the line am I getting a little bit, see, to the top, because the light's going to hit that top of that little ridge constantly thinking about the light. Now I'm going to go back and look at my reference. We posted that reference in chat, big ram horns, and at the very end, it gets much lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and make those a lot lighter. With no, I may not need the Agrax shade at all. Looking pretty good without it. Do a little yellow, a little peanut butter, and a color. Oh yeah, peanut butter warms up. Perfect. Needed that warmth. We've got cold, 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 cold. And that gives us a big contrast. It also draws your eye up to the head, which is where we want the focus. We want the focus on the face and on the head. And by giving that color difference of the yellow, the warm yellow, pulling it back up. Okay. I'm going to put a little peanut butter in this part too. Go back later in a minute. This side is going to be a little bit darker. I need to go back and look at chat. Thank you, already voted. Oh, Rainer, yay! Flags. Rainer72. He is a streamer, fellow friend of the chat, a friend of the stream rather. Definitely give him a follow. Really good buddy. Got to meet him at Adepticon. All right, got some other things to read. Banner Red. Oh, Flickster. Love me more. Yay, thank you. And Flickster also, another friend of the stream. Follow them both. Fantastic guys. Doing a little bits war there in the chat. Zenred says, I've been trying to paint more realistic green orc skin, but the mini has a big pop out veins and I'm not sure what color to paint them. So I want to show you. What I recommend when you do kind of an unnatural flesh stone is go ahead and get a little bit of a flesh, mix it with your green, like get a little tiny bit of red in there. It will seem more realistic and more real if he's got just a smidge. Okay. I mean, more lights. The yellow looks good here, but I'm missing stuff. There we go. Very happy with how this is looking so far. Okay, look at that face, Rainer. That's awesome. So we've got Kakarot at 1,000, Flickster at 40, and then Rainer at 25. So they've got their little bits badges. I actually have my own bits kind of alert things that I need to put into the channel. Still haven't done it. There's so many things that are one of the things. So all of your donations and bits and everything go back into the channel, and we do have plans for a whole bunch of emotes, which I'm very excited about. All right, this is the light skin. Gotta take glasses off for this. So we're gonna have emotes probably beginning in mid-July. We've got 12 coming. So everybody who subscribes at the tier 1 is going to get 12 emotes, which is going to be so much nicer. I feel like things need to go even lighter. With more of this color here. Yes. And then that means we need to go a little bit lighter here too, but not too much. Yeah. And then the lightest part is going to be on the ends of them. I'm going to get a little bit of white actually out, a little schminky. This is the schminky white. It's a artist acrylic that is super bright, and never lick it because it's probably toxic. But it's from like Germany or Austria or someplace. Now, and how this going to draw your face. Your eye back to his face, which is where I want it. Putting the white. Boom, bam. Little emerald bam. Little Shoshie bam. I'm trying to wake up too. I know I don't have coffee, but I have Diet Pepsi. So it's just going to have to do. Back with my little peanut butter over here, just a smidge. Wait, horns. Oh, Flickster. Thank you so much. Aw. You guys are great. Now this is dry. We can show you how to do the rest of this. So I've got my brassy brass. So first tinny tin, and then brassy brass. I cannot think today. Oh my gosh. Brassy bronze, and then of course the last one is polished gold. It should be like glorious gold, but I think that name is already taken by a certain company. All right, a little bit of brassy brass. That's why you like, I love French press. Oh, I used to have one and it broke. French press is the best though. All right, so now I'm highlighting on the bottoms of these little tassels. Leaving the rest, right? There we go. Now my eye is not going back. So my eye is going to his loincloth more. So I'm going to go ahead and glaze that back down with the tinny tin. We don't need it so bright. Little bit of corporeal shadow. This is the trick. Artie Volve, are you watching? So in order to get my shadows, which will make my highlights pop, use a flat paint like my corporeal shadow and go in here and paint that down. Paint those shadows down. See? We did it. Now it looks really, you got your depth. I'm going to use a little bit of my Arbuckle's brown. It's got a little red in it. Put that on there too. As often metal is reflecting what's around it, and he's got all this red armor. So you want to show that by having a little bits of red glinting. Right? Does that make sense? And now for the final highlight. This is the final highlight, our polished gold. Just little tiny dings of it. And we might use a little bit of silver as well if we need a even higher highlight. Okay. Just on the very edge. Still gonna read as bronze, but it's gonna read as like a brighter bronze. Let's see. Pass it back on. I have some stick skills. I do paint a lot of KDM. Yeah, the part that you are missing is the flat. You need the flat paint. Let me show you on the shield. Where is my shield? See, up in here. In fact, I could probably even put a little bit more red because he's going to have a lot more reflective light here. So, and having the colors in the metals, it makes it feel more realistic anyway. Flat paint here and in the shadows, and then we do all those highlights and everything. I want this Aries symbol to be a little bit more gold. It is a symbol. See? Oh, I really am happy with the horns. That turned out really nice. Now, I don't know quite yet what to do about the back of his head, but we'll go ahead and do the front. So we've got, this is my light skin. Paint all these edges. Glasses have to come off too. I cannot unsee. There's like a mandrill face right here that I cannot unsee. You guys see it? Somebody posted it on the Kingdom Death Facebook group, the By Lantern's Light, and I haven't been able to not see the baboon now. Now again, painting more of my highlights on one side than the other. And then I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to go to the back. Now, this is shadow. Shadows still have highlights. So I'm just going to highlight this with just blood red. It's going to be brighter, or sorry, it's going to be more, how do I say? It's going to since it has the background as a dark background, it's not going to be particularly bright, which is perfect because he's in shadow. It's still going to be red though. And that's too much. I want it to be blended. See, I have to wipe it off. I want it to be blended in to the point where, there we go. That's better. I just add a little bit of Arbuckle's brown. Aw, another cheer. Azriel X22. Thank you so much for the cheer. Look at the football cheers. That's right. there is a thing where you can unlock these football emotes, these soccer emotes, if you're American. And they're for the World Cup. So I guess since it's for the World Cup, we have to call it football, right? Pretty sure they don't call it the World Soccer Tournament, right? Just gonna highlight. See how very small amounts, I mean, I'm really not highlighting it much at all, but it's there. Subtle. And this side's getting more light, so it's going to be a lot brighter. And where we've got our highlights already painted in, when we glaze over this with the red, see how that pops out now? Boom. Same thing, we're going to glaze over all of that with the red. Thank you so much again for the cheers, guys. It means a lot. I'm gonna get this part to be much more red, because I would imagine that if there's a sun of any kind or any kind of light source, it is Kingdom Death, so we don't really know where the light source is coming from, but there depends on where you are in Kingdom Death if there is any light. Mostly not, though. I'm gonna make that bronze, right? No, wait, I need to look at it. I don't know what it is. This whole back of the head needs highlighting, I just realized. Glasses! So we're just catching the edges again. With my red and my light skin. Back with the red. Better. I'm just glazing this again. Not glazing. Actually, this is layering right now. Now I'm not glazing, I'm layering. And now I need to go back and highlight. And I may need to go back in and check my shadows too. Okay, so there I didn't wait for it to dry and it turned pink, which I don't want. I need to let stuff dry. Let's go in and paint the shadows, because that, at least with my corporeal shadow, I'm so excited for fireworks and parade. So do you see how I'm getting my shadows back? Even there's not actually that much depth there, but you can paint it in. Mixing the corporeal shadow and the arbuckle's brown, you get a very nice deep color right there. Woo! All right, last thing, and highlights, and then we can move on to the shoulders, which you want to probably see, because we're going to basically show you all these steps all over again, in case you missed the first VOD. Ooh, he's so creepy, isn't he? Yes. I just added the little dots here, and until I added those, it looked cool, but now it has kind of this weird haunting look to it. Like the armor is alive itself. All right, what do we want to see next? Let's see. Let's put the shield by him. He's got an arm back there. We're gonna have to paint that eventually as well. Okay. Yes, that's what I hope. I mean, my biggest hope is that I inspire you guys, because I did not start out with this level of skill. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, and eventually you just paint and you paint and you get better, and hopefully you don't give up. That's what the trick is. All right, so we've got our shoulder here. Okay. I'm going to paint this as if I'm highlighting it, I think. Meg's Paints Minis just subscribed. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. We're gonna write your name down, Meg. Woohoo! As you guys know, all the money does go back into the stream. We're gonna be buying some more emotes. We're gonna be buying some more miniatures to give away as well. Hey, aw, Sergeant Cadef. Cadef? Is it Cadef? SGT. Thank you so much for the follow. Look at, we're 2,982. So that what takes us to 18 people that we need to follow to have the party, the partner party. I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint in my shadows early. There we go. Paint these in. This is with the blue right here. And a cat hair. We got a cat hair for the first time in a long time. And we want to do it. This is our tier 3 emote for now. Get cat hair. Boom. All right, I'm going to mix a little bit of Arbuckle's brown, which is really a burgundy, with my blood red. See what I get. I feel like I need to glaze some more. Yes, that's a good color. It looks very scab-like. Perfect. We have about an hour to go, about halfway through. So hopefully, if we can get these two shoulders done, we'll have a lot of headway. Okay, notice that I left that edge light because it's going to be highlighted anyway. Got nice and dark. I already got my Arbuckle or my blue color on there. Now I need to compare because yes. So one of the things I don't want to lose is my contrast. This particular piece has a lot less darks on it than the other armor did. So I want to go back in with this blue and paint all my darks back in. Anywhere there was that super dark. Oh, you know what? That's going to be green. I forgot that. Going to be quite a bit of green on this, actually. This will make the same color as his horns. I think that would be awesome. Now with my red. I think I need a smaller brush because this brush is pretty big. So this is a 1. I'm going to find a smaller one. This is a Raphael 00. And take this. Yeah, that's much sharper. Look at. All right, glasses off again. And please ask questions if you have any, if you need any help with any of the things I'm doing. This is his right shoulder, so it's getting the bulk of all the light. Painting each one of these little pieces. Like I said before, in one of my classes where I was learning non-metallic metal, I learned from Sergio Calvillo Rubio, and I learned from Alfonso Giraldes. Paint your edges. Always paint your edges, they say. And that doesn't mean edge highlight. Does that make sense? It's not quite the same. You're painting the edges where light is going to bounce. There's lots of spots like here, not an edge, but it is a sphere, so you break it down. I think Rainer said this. Break it down into a sphere and you color it like it's a ball, right? That edge. There's lots of details. Lots. So I like how the purples and the reds are looking together. Remember, we want it to look kind of like a scab. I'm not painting super smooth either. I want to give it a little bit of a texture. I mean, this isn't true metal. It's like fantasy metal, so it's not even metal. It's like the scabs of his wounds. Each one of these little deals gets its own little highlight. Meticulous. Which is very difficult for me because you guys know how impatient I am. One of the big reasons why I paint fast is because I'm just very impatient. Turn at different angles. Look at it from above. See where you can add that little ding. Now, this is where we start really highlighting. This is the light skin again. Is it the light skin or is it yeah, this is the light skin. See how it's a little bit more orangey? I'm gonna put that. You know what? I need to have a clean brush when I do this. I don't want pink. I want pure light skin. That's a highlight. It's a bright one. That's what gives you your non-metallic, is that big contrast. I'm even gonna, so this, again, I'm not trying to be super smooth, so I'm gonna just kind of tap the armor right here. I'm gonna end up glazing it, so it's not gonna matter if it's messy looking anyway. Did we get another follower? Yes, we did. One trick singed 420. Is that right? Thank you so much for following. Welcome to the class. See, I'm going to put you right here since your name is so long. Welcome. Hopefully, whoop, this is not where we're painting. We were painting this Now we're painting the arm of the same guy. Looks kind of messy right now, so I want to show you this. Remember we put all these little highlights in here? Watch what happens when we tap that. Put the red back over that highlight. See how it pops so much more? Highlight up and shade down. That made a big difference. Yep, we are early today. Janae, good morning. Guten Morgen. It is early because it is 4th of July, and I wanted to be able to watch fireworks. Aw, thank you for the cheer, Rainer. Rainer is second. That's awesome. Little bits were going on. It's so funny. I love it. All right, see that? That's pretty. A little bit, because there's going to be somewhat of a ding here. Going to have to keep working it until it looks right. How are you, Janae? It has been a while, hasn't it? Oh, I like that. It's like a cat kappa. Hey, casual painter. Good morning. It is 10:12 a.m. in my part of the world. Janae says it's a bit too early, or you're so late. Nope, you're not so late. It is early. Okay. I did not expect the shoulder to be so sticky, but we have lots of little details on it. So I'm just gonna slow myself down, which is, you guys know how hard that is to slow down. And I'm just going to continue painting my edges, and then I'm also going to, see, that's an edge I missed. Here. Whole edge I missed. Starting to look a little bit more like a metal, huh? Let's go in there with that red. Oh, see it turn pink on me again. That's what I don't want. Gotta let it dry in between. Okay. You can always make it more red, add more paint. Woo! Oh my gosh, Nixation just subscribed. Thanks for being awesome in the Scale 75 partnership. All Scale 75 get. Thank you so much, Nixation. Let's write down your name. For 5 months in a row. Is this Nixed and Minis? Did you change your name, or is this a different person? Nixation. There we go. Thank you for the subscribe. I really do appreciate it. So we are at 160 something sub points. Sorry, 116 sub points. When we get 200, I think we get even more emotes, but I don't blame you guys for not pushing for that yet, because I still owe you like 12 emotes. So we're gonna get those done, and then we're gonna, hopefully by September, we will maybe go for an emote unlock. How pretty is that? Different person? Yeah, we have a friend who's Nixton Minis. Very, very similar. It's too hot in Germany. At work, I moved my office to another room. I'm so glad I'm finally home. Yes. So one of the tricks the Australians do, Drenee, is they'll have called like a inexpensive air condition. You get a cooler, fill it full of ice, and then put a fan in front of it. They call it an esky. All right, painting this red, glazing over that, highlight up, and then glaze it down so that we get a nice blend. This makes it, oh, quickly it blends, but it looks good. And then we'll go back over. Oh, see how nice? Really starting to pop. All of these little, there's some little lines that I need to get in here. I'm gonna take my glasses off again. Oh my goodness, so tedious. But I want them to show up as red, so if I don't do the white on top, they won't show up. This is gonna get all glazed back down to red, and then we're gonna highlight it one last time. Paint the edges, paint the edges. The edges just now. Okay, I will not torture you anymore. No plan painting. No plan painting. Thank you so much for following. We have a plan painting. We have a plan, no plan painting. Our plan is to get 3,000 followers right here. 2,984. We're getting very close. When we get 3,000, we will have a giveaway stream, which will be fun. All right, so see how I'm going back over all those light areas I just finished painting with this red. And if I need to, I might reclaim my shadows. Has anybody been watching any good summer TV this summer? Anything good? We've been finally catching up on Game of Thrones. I can't remember what season we're in right now. But we got HBO through Hulu. I got to caught up on Westworld, which I really enjoy. What else? I just watched this new show on Netflix. It's actually a British show called Kiss Me First, and it was pretty weird, but I liked it a lot. I kind of don't expect it to have a second season, though. I don't know. We'll see. You never know with Netflix. They're so kind of, they'll renew stuff that you'd think that, should not be renewed. Like, I think The 100 is its, like, billionth season. Aww. Zangmac, thank you for the follow. We need you guys. Yay, Zangmac. You've been lurking away. Did I just say I'm doing a giveaway? Yes, at 300 followers. Yes, so just if you haven't followed yet, give me a follow so that way we can do our whole cool giveaway stream. It's probably going to be Friday with the rate we're going. I'm really hoping that we can get to 3,000 this stream, right? Wouldn't it be awesome? If not, it'll probably have to be Monday. Okay, so lots of bright. Look at this. See how it compares with the rest of his armor. So you can see we're missing all of our top highlights. That's okay. That's the stage we're at right now. Ta-da. Yay! Slow Turtle Creations! Thank you! This is perfect. I'm gonna put you over here. Turtle. We can do it. Slow Turtle, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. We are growing. No Plant Painting says, it's funny that I talked to you on Facebook and some of the miniature groups, but I never thought I'd check. Oh, I'm so glad that you could check. Because there's a lot of people on Facebook that have just never had the chance to come over to Twitch. I'm not sure what it is, but jumping platforms is hard. But once you get a chance to come over here and you see how cool it is and how much easier it is to interact with me and ask me questions about stuff, I think you'll be happy. All right. Now we just need to do all of this over here. Glaze, glaze, glaze. I have a friend, he lives in Leeds in the UK, and he's a blokey bloke. You guys might know him. He's one of the Chilling Wargamers podcasters. Bud. He always says lads, lads, lads. He talks like he's from Game of Thrones also. He's like, he calls me Shoshie, Shoshie. He actually has a really hard time saying my name because of the way the O is. He can't say Shoshie, it's Shoshie. So he has the Shoshie bear. We need Spud over here. He would be awesome in the chat. Go. All right. That is a strap, I believe. Let me look. Yep, that's a strap. We can make the strap. Does anybody ever watch Chilling Wargamers? Zangmax says, I'm pretty sure I've hung out with Shoshie about 3 or 4 years ago in a Google Hangout with the terrain tutor. That's very, very possible. I did a lot of Google Hangouts before I started Twitch. They are nice. I still do Discord Hangouts now. Aw, giant cheer, holy cow. Ruth Varian, thank you. Look at these bros trying to mansplain your cheerboard. Oh, she knocked off Flick. So now we have Attackaroth, Luciferian, and Rainer. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Bits are just a really fun way to cheer on your favorite streamers. You can use them pretty much anywhere in Twitch to just give your favorite streamer a little pep in their day. All right, so what, Flickster? And now Rainer is knocked off. Boom. Thank you so much. Look at that. Flickster said, did you say I did not say you knocked up. I said you knocked off. Actually, I said you knocked Rainer off. Don't get me in trouble. Oh, it's time for some Pepsi. Oh my goodness. Somebody did. Yes, Luciferian. Mazel tov on your impending pregnancy or impending birth. I was so happy for you guys. Rainer and Luciferian are having a baby. Technically, Luciferian is having the baby. And you better get her something nice, Rainer. That's all I'm saying. Buy her some jewelry the day of and be really nice to her. Here we go. Now we're time. Oh, I messed up. Back and fix. Trying to get my lights in here. Do we get another? Oh. Kappas everywhere. All right. This is the point where I feel the need to put the arm on, because I feel like I won't. Well, let me paint in the green first, because there is a little bit of green. As we did before, I'm going to show you how I mix this. This is the field gray. The field gray? I think this is the field gray. Yeah, field gray. We've got a little bit of undead flesh, which has got a little bit more yellow in it. Do I worry about length? Yes, I do. I do worry about. I will move them so that we will not worry. Here we go. Sometimes I have dropped pieces into my palette, especially when I put it right here. That's why I'm moving it back over here. I want to show you real quick how I'm going to mix this though. A little bit of merm green. A little bit of merm green into that. That is the color that I wanted. I see this is too desaturated, so this actually pigments it up a little bit. Is that a verb? Pigment it up? All right, where's my arm? Yeah, I set it aside and then I lost it. Right, so we're gonna take this off. We're gonna paint in this little bitty bit of. Did I tell you guys we picked out this green because we just Googled Aries color scheme and we came up with this green. Uh-oh. You know what? I just found a major piece of flash. Hold on, let me grab an X-Acto knife. You guys see this over here? That is hidden. But I guarantee you if I enter, oh my gosh, I just found a complete mold line right here. I will go ahead and cut those off because it will bug me if I don't cut that mold line off. Huge mold line. And this big piece of flash right here. More mold line. Usually I'm pretty good about catching those things. Okay, better to fix it now and get it to a contest or something and then have to deal with it later. And just base coating it back over it. There. Now I can go back in with my greens. And I can camouflage that somewhat. Now that's wet, so I can't mess with that, but I can drag out this one. And look at that, there's another mold line. Not a big one, but just a little piece. This is something that I want to gripe about, oh, just a little bit. I want to gripe about competitions because one of the things that bothers me about some competitions I've seen is they'll look for what's wrong. They don't look for what's right. So they'll look for mold lines. They'll look for anything that's, wrong with the mini just to disqualify it. I'm sure that maybe what I guess I would have preferred they do is to, judge the mini based on how it looks first, and then maybe, I don't know, I guess there's no way to do it. It's always about craftsmanship, or craftsmanship's gonna lead to, oh, I see more mold line. More mold line. Very faint, but it's there, right here. You guys have this happen to you? You're painting along and then you're like, made a mold line. There. I'm hoping that will be easily hidden. My brush go. Okay, good enough. I see another mold line. Here we go. Oh my goodness, another cheer. Luthvarian, thank you so much. Look at that, just one cheer higher than Flickster. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Artie Volv says, not sure if you saw the picture through Facebook or Instagram, but last Friday my wife and I had a 25th anniversary. That's why you weren't on all week. Oh, that's so awesome. And you went to Charleston, South Carolina. I have a relative in Charleston. Pigmentate. Yes, that's pigmentate. Thank you. And congratulations, Mazel Tov, Artie Volv. It drives you crazy when you see mold lines, no plan painting. It says, lol. Like you can't see some until it's exactly right. Until you've got it primed and painted, that's when the mold lines rear their ugly heads. They're completely invisible until then. 61 ladies before mateys. That's some shade right there. Artie Wolf says, that's why you like how Nova is doing their competition. They're grading against the standards for each level. Then award of bronze, silver, gold, depending on how you meet the standard. That is awesome. And for those of you guys who don't know, I am going to be at Nova this year, and I will be teaching classes. I'm excited. All right, so watch this. So this is a sphere. Gotta paint the edge first. Oh my gosh, so tedious. All my edges. Get those first. Do a tap a little bit right there. By the way, Luthvarian is a streamer in her own right. You need to give her a follow. She does fiber arts, which so there are only a few types of art that I will buy, and one of them is fiber arts, one of them is pottery, and one of them is jewelry making. So those are the three that I cannot do myself whatsoever, but I love it. Love it. So you should give her a follow. And we're getting her edges painted with their very light color. And this is kind of what I did on the foot. You kind of do these little sketchy marks to make it look like it's metal, because light kind of moves, right? Hold on. I need a smaller brush probably, but let's try it. So this here is going to be the sketchy marks here. Try to put a few here. Yeah. And I've said this before, I'm not a non-metallic metal expert at all. And I could be doing this wrong. I could be doing this better. But I make it up as I go along for the most part. Thinking about the light. Where is the light? And if it looks... So, who is it? Slow Fuse and Genuine. They both kind of told me sometimes go by the rule of cool. If it looks good, go with it. A little bit up here. Definitely gonna have some light here and on the side. That looks pretty close. Now we need a little white. This is where I think I sit and I look. And I think if I were a ding of light, where would I be? And I would be right on the edges. Small highlights. Right? It helps because I am completely nearsighted. These are bifocals. So by actually, if you squint and you blurs it, you can kind of imagine where those things are going to be. Pick those out. So there. I mean, it's not perfect, but right, is that okay? Looks good enough, I think. But more in the front and the back, because that's where the light is heading. Now, take a little bit of I'm going to go in and pick out all the little metal pieces. This is the tinny tin. I'm going to do it on the Aries symbol here. Oh, shoot. Mess that up. Go a little bit of pass it back on. My bits. Mold lines are even. That's Painting Cricks. Good morning. Fancy Unicorn was hosting me. Awesome. Mold lines. And Chris says, Shoshie, looking forward to meeting you at Nova Open. Keep hoping for opening in your classes. Yeah, just come. You just never know. Somebody might have to miss out, and they might, an opening might happen. So come. I might have some extra space. Never know. There. Trying to get that. It looks more metally right here. That means that I'm doing it wrong up here. Whoa. Flying brush. Remember that sketchy look? What I'm going to try to do here. Happening slowly. I gotta take glasses off. All right. I'm gonna just go ahead, paint with my brassy brass right here on top of that. That's pretty. A little bit on this metal bit right there. I'm looking for other little spots I can make metal. There's a whole bunch of buckles right here under his arm. And straps. And I got this little thing right there. Bronze. Did you see how I just highlighted that? I didn't put bronze on the whole thing. These are little buckles. Whew. Okay. Let's see how it looks next to his armor. Yep, starting to match now. Looks like, do you see the difference in the, there's way more shadows on here. So we're gonna need to go back in with corporeal shadow to make that final pop. Ooh, I missed. Slow Turtle Creation says, trying to pay attention to your detail work while casting resin skulls. I'm winning. That's awesome. I do teach. I teach online and in person. This is what I'm doing now. I'm teaching how to do this non-metallic metal. And then I teach at conventions. I'm going to be teaching at Gen Con and at Nova, and then at Dragonfall Con in October. Dragonfall, which is in Illinois, not to be confused with Dragon Con in Atlanta. Yep, and you can buy the Tier 3 level sub and 30 minutes of video coaching with me also. I do that as well. Now, for the video coaching, you have to message me to set that up once you do the Tier 3. Because some people don't have time or want the coaching, but they just still want to support me. This way I know that's what you want. You want that Tier 3 coaching, so you message me. All right, I'm going back in with my corporeal shadow. Pull out all of my darks. And I'm going to line it right next to that white, so it'll pop even more. See that? That really helped. Boom. Mixing a little corporeal shadow with Arbuckle's brown. Looking for places to make my shadows darker. I think that's supposed to be green in there. Hold on. Yep, I found a spot that's supposed to have a little green. Tiny details. Look at that. Just having that little spot of green, though, it draws your eye to it, though, doesn't it? A little shadow. I see I messed up a little bit right beneath my Aries, but I can go ahead and give it a drop shadow and cover that up where we got too much metallic in the way. Also, by having a nice heavy drop shadow, it'll make this whole thing appear a little bit more 3D. Okay, a little bit more red in here because I think this drop shadow is too heavy now. And the last part is going to be this brown that we mixed before, which hopefully, it's dried out on my palette a little bit. Mix a little bit of peanut butter. Hello. Mike, hello. Jesus. What was that? Oh. I must have, yeah. Oh my goodness. So I've been listening to my own sound through Mike's headphones this whole time. That's so funny. Oh. Peanut butter. All right, there we go with this lovely color right here. And I think what I'll do is add dark to the bottom, to the base a little bit. Got a little bit darker on the bottom. Okay, so we got the first bit. Lamunis, hello. Scratch that, a flax break. Not sure where I live, but yep, I'll be in Nova, and then I'll be at Gen Con. I think Gen Con is first, and then Nova, and then Dragonfall. You're in Ashburn, so that is close to Nova. It is. Sassy Mike is here. Videocaster says, do you have any idea how much easier it made me to... Yes, I do know. That's good, because Scale 75 is a really good line. And I highly recommend it. Okay. Highlighting, 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 highlighting. Leaving, do you see how I blended that? Highlighting, highlighting, highlighting. A little bit of brown back at the bend, and here we go. More dark toward the end, more light toward the top. It'll eventually match his horns once it dries a little bit more. Wet blending, that's what we're doing. So this is, Scale 75 does take a little bit of a learning curve, but if you watch enough of my shows, that is one thing I paint with a lot. So you'll learn all of the stuff I do with my Scale 75s. I'm not happy with that. What did I do? No, back to red. I lost an edge over here. There. Ooh, I like that. All right. Now, I feel like that's done. I feel like I can take this off and then attach it. Let's see, I'm going to use my X-Acto so I don't break something. And now I have to put glasses on for this. What do I mean that the paints have a learning curve? In what way are they harder to use than other popular lines? So they are very flat, they're very thick, and they're very pigmented. So by learning curve for me, oh, there's a little bit of extra, I'm gonna clip that off. So for me, when I first started, I was using P3s, which are a satin paint that are meant for lots of blending. Whereas these paints, if you're already used to like Vallejo and stuff, then you're gonna be fine. There probably won't be as much of a learning curve. But for me, moving from from satin paints that blend, and also GW is a blending paint, I would call it. The difference is that it's the way you put the paint on. So all right, let's see how this goes. Oh, it's gonna be fine. Oh yes, look at how beautiful. I just realized he's got to have a little bit of highlighting in here. We'll glue him on and then we'll highlight him. All right. I'm not gonna pin him because it's resin. It should stick pretty well. If I have problems in the future, I will pin him. So yeah, I mean, layering versus like two brush blending was a bit of a learning curve for me. Also glazing, you can glaze with these so much nicer. So I was able to do a lot of different things with these. Oh, look at how awesome. Now we just need a highlight. There is a little gap, that's okay. See that? We're all gonna get covered by a big cloak. Got this big cloak, which I probably should put on before I do the other shoulder. Yes. But now we're seeing spots that I need to go ahead and highlight because I'm realizing, like this whole front part. Oh wow. I didn't realize you live in the same, you and Painting Cricks all live in, and Diomedes Industries live in Newport News. That's so cool. I cannot wait to meet all three of you. Let's do a little bit of that peanut butter. That warmed it up. Sorry, quite a specific question, but I'm thinking about picking up the big box set. I do have to tell you, if you buy the big box set, it is more of a value than if you just buy those little sets, because you get a better price break basically per paint. If you want to, if you're nervous about them at all, go ahead and buy just a small set. Don't use the discount code because you can only use it once. But go ahead and buy one of those small sets and try it out and see if you like it. And let's see, what else? What would I call Army Painter? I would call Army Painter not very pigmented. I'm not a fan of Army Painter because yes, they have a good price point, but you're actually suffering because the price point is based on how much pigment is in the paints a lot of times. So while you get a good price per bottle, the paints themselves, you're going to use so much more paint trying to get coverage, right? Oh, crap. Talking painting. Try that again. If I mess up, I can just glaze over it with my red and then go back with it later with the out of the color. Do I have any Army Painters so that I can show you? I have a lot of the strong tones. Here, let me show you. This is Army Painter. Crawfather, thank you so much for following. Let's write down that name real quick. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so this is Army Painter Oak Brown, and I think it actually is decently pigmented for an Army Painter paint. So if I'm going to put this on here, oops. But this is right out of the bottle, and you can see it's It's a little bit on the thin. It's a little thin. See how transparent it is? Maybe I can show you on a paper towel. No. See, here's a piece of paper. So this is out of the bottle, and you can see it's just thin, right? Now contrast that with a scale 75. This is brown leather. It's very similar in color. But I'm almost out of brown leather, so this might be good. Here we go. All right, look at the difference. This is, again, out of the bottle. You see, that's what pigment it is. You pay for that. You pay for that fine pigment. And I added some water to it. But even when I add water to it, look at how much more pigment is in it. Okay, I'm going to show you this one more time. I want you to see that I'm not making this up. Oops, see, I need to shake that. Okay, that's the Army Painter. I'm going to thin this out. That is a lot of paint right there that I'm having to use. Oops. And then here is scale. Set that aside. I'm almost out of this bottle. That's how much I use it. So there. I mean, let me try to add a little water to this. Even with a little water, it's just way more pigmented. So I hope that helps you. They are both fine. You're just gonna, for me as a professional, I'm gonna have way less coats with this. I mean, you see how fast I paint. Part of the reason why is because I use P3, I use scale 75. I feel like they are very pigmented paints. That is important to me. And as an artist, you know, you kind of get what you pay for a lot of times. I have found that to be true, at least at the art store. The metallics, yeah, I haven't tried the metallics from Army Painter at all, but the metallics with a scale 75, let me show you. Like, so this is like a black gold, and it goes on like a dream. Like, look at this. I mean, that's just liquid metal. It's just fantastic. And again, pigmented. They're so pigmented that I recommend getting agitators, glass. Glass is probably the best, but stainless steel can work as well, as long as you make sure that the stainless steel bearings that you use are quality. It is 11 o'clock. I wanted to do more. All right, we're gonna just finish a few highlights up, and then we'll be hosting. Hopefully Flickster is on. I love hosting Flickster. He's such a great painter. I hope that you guys enjoyed our morning stream. Maybe, I don't know if I will ever go back to this time. We used to do this time on Mondays, and it got to be a little hard on Mondays, but maybe I could do it Wednesdays again. See. All right. Let's look, see if Flickster is on. Oh yes, and I'm also going to Adepticon, definitely. All right. Boop. All right, I want to thank everybody so much for coming, and I hope that you really enjoyed this stream. We're going to do Mad Love. We're going to raid Flickster. Let's see. Let me make sure I could get this in here. Go ahead and copy and paste that right there. Mad Love from Shoshie's Minis. And we'll be back on Friday. And hopefully we will eventually get to our goal. There we go. That work? Nope, that did not work. Let me try slash raid. That didn't work either. There we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have an awesome. If you had any quick questions for me, feel free to whisper me. I'm going to stick around and watch Flickster with you guys while I finish doing a little touch-ups on my Aries. All right. Here he is. Bye, guys.